Oh, are they here?
They're here.
Oh, please welcome Pete Wentz, Patrick Stump, our favorite guys.
Wait, they have sunglasses on.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so it's Pete's fault you're late.
The great thing was we were staying there the entire time.
I know, but we wanted to add drama.
Oh, I love it. I love the...
Pete, I can smell you.
Pete,
You can?
Smell
what does it
delicious.
smell like?
You smell delicious.
Partying.
I love your jacket.
Thank you.
That is so hot.
Did you sew those patches on yourself?
Yes.
Awesome.
That's how I got my arts and crafts badge.
And the embroidery, you did that for sure. Yesterday. That's what he was. He wasn't partying. He was out doing that.
Late.
It's okay.
Very late.
You're up
You know what?
doing arts and crafts.
We were on vacation last week, Pete, and
Where?
Santa Fe. We were doing flights of tequila for lunch and dinner all week, and we were eating just lots of cheese, gooey cheese, and fried this and. So this week I'm on like a no flour, no sugar, no booze week.
Oh no.
But being
terror in your voice.
But being next to you, I have a contact high.
Just breathe on him, Pete. Breathe on him.
I didn't know what a flight was for a a long time. And then I got a flight of fudge.
Fudge flight.
That would be your first
Yeah,
flight.
it was great.
Nice.
I think I
What
have
was in
that.
that fudge?
That's my favorite video online.
Flight of fudge.
Flight of fudge. It's not funny. You're laughing at an old gay guy. So, let's talk about rock music, shall we? Let's get philosophical.
Oh wow.
What can we do to lift rock music up to the level that Fall Out Boy consistently gives us? Because
Ooh. Why, thank you.
no. I know. It was actually a compliment and a slam at the same time.
Right.
Because like hip hop, street artists, these art forms are just so highly lifted right now. And Fall Out Boy, your music consistently, album after album, keeps it up there. We need more Fall Out Boys. Does that make sense?
Thanks. I think this is something that, Pete is much more succinct at explaining, but I feel like we've kind of always had this philosophy that rock music somehow started becoming a traditionalist thing where it's like, well, this is how you do it, and this is what you did in 1975, and this is, it's some cultural history, and instead of it's like those, you go to those those communities where people will dress up as the 1800s so they can demonstrate it to tourists. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
and I feel like
Reenactment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Renaissance fair.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I'm not particularly interested in doing that, and you know what I mean. And just because I have a guitar doesn't mean that I'm not going to acknowledge that I listen to things that came out this year.
And it should be like young music, and that's what you see with hip hop. And hip hop's so much younger of an art form that I think you're just starting to see the traditionalism, like with like Lil Yachty and stuff. Like when I see people like yelling at him and stuff,
Right.
It's just like wild because it should grow and be different. And you don't like the great thing about rock music is you shouldn't have to respect what came before you. You just shouldn't have to because that's what rock music is inherently.
Going back to Nirvana.
Yeah.
And then, this morning I was asking Bethany, what's one of your favorite bands? Van Halen.
Yeah.
I'm like, so, I mean, just having just the simplicity of a song that it's so perfect. You have to listen to it really loudly. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. I missed that. And this is what we get. I'm going to play a cut from your new album coming up in a second. You can't listen to it on low. It doesn't, it doesn't compute with me anyway.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was going to ask, like, just with your sound and with the rock sound that you guys create that is so young and it is so current, is that something that you feel like you could create by yourself, or is it only when you come together, like powers combined, it is created in that way?
Oh yeah, no, I think that's very astute. I think it's definitely something that we don't really do very well individually, because I think each of us have our own, eccentricities that we bring to it. But I think when all of it, like, it's really funny. I write really weird songs. I write really weird songs that no one would like. But then somehow when I play them for Pete, he goes, yeah, well, what if you did this instead and you did this instead? And then, Joe comes in and Joe is really inherently rock and roll. That's a thing that he can't not do. So he comes in and it's always going to be a little bit more rock and roll. Then Andy has this you can't get away from it. He still plays drums like he's in Slayer, right? And so you could be playing a total pop song and it's going to sound like Slayer when he plays it.
Wow.
So,
Paul McCartney said in the Beatles touring movie, "You look fantastic."
I'm wearing Pete Wentz's sunglasses.
Great.
I love the double compliment because you're like, you look great, and my sunglasses are great.
Elvis was ugly and unattractive until you put on my sunglasses. Okay, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted. Looking fashionably.
He said in that touring movie they just put out, he just said, they were like, well, why did the Beatles wear suits? And he was like, well, we all put on the same suits because we became like a four-headed monster, And I think that there's some aspects of that really make sense. And that's like something that like makes sense with like Migos to me, and it makes sense with like the Beatles to me. Like I'm like, oh, you like kind of you put the uniform on and you become this like thing together.
I love it.
Well,
By the way, we got to wake this thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Well, also what I love about you guys is like, okay, I love Ed Sheeran, and my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old love Ed Sheeran. But Ed Sheeran is, just recent. I loved you guys growing up. We kind of grew up together. My 8-year-old, my 11-year-old love you, and we rock out to the albums together. To me, you guys bring an older generation and a newer generation together, and I think it's fantastic.
That's right,
Thank you.
Pops.
Oh, wow.
He's got kids too. Come on.
Yeah, thank you.
What were you doing last night?
Me?
What were you up to? You were up late last night. I just
yeah,
want to know,
I went to a sushi restaurant.
did you have any sake?
No, yeah. Well, not sake,
No,
but
yeah.
but
yeah.
yes.
It's very decisive.
Yes,
I went to a sushi restaurant. Are parts of you still there?
possibly.
I think the last time we had dinner together, we were in a sushi restaurant.
Yes, that's true.
Do you do that thing where you're out late and you have an interview the next morning at whatever time, and you're like, shoot, okay, if I go to bed now, I'll have 4 hours of sleep. Shoot, if I go to bed now, I'll have 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And then you say blanket, and you
Yeah.
just come.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to the point where you pass the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason Derulo came in here recently, right out the party scene. He came right in, sat down with his jacket still on.
He was wearing a fur.
Hi, I'm here. It
Nice.
was the best interview we ever had with him.
He was so
It's true.
happy
It was
on
awesome.
vodka.
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's got to be a bummer when you do a morning show and then everybody comes in and they're like, so yeah,
You know
we
what?
got
be
this
honest with
new
you.
record. And,
I know but when
really-
we come in, still kind of simmering
Yeah.
from the night before, we have great shows.
We do.
I have no problem with it.
Because
Not
you're
pro-
delirious.
It's
You
just
have no clue.
part of what we do.
I see Jason at the gym all the time,
Right.
and he like looks like a trainer. I'm always like, wow, that guy's like, your songs are great too.
He does it all.
He's awesome.
He records, he writes, he trains, and he drinks.
Yeah.
He's got it all going
I
on.
don't think that's what anyone thinks when they see me at the gym. Like, he's working. He'll get there.
If you're just turning
Break a
us on,
sweat, Betty.
Pete Wentz and Patrick Stump are here. Fall Out Boys, their albums, it's not until September, like after summer.
Back to school.
Yeah, so it's a back to school
back to
release.
school.
with your
Back to school
pencils and your,
bundle.
yeah.
But I got music from the album. I'm going to
Yeah.
play it. I'm
Oh,
going to get
wow.
that on in a second, and that's cool. But you know what? Another thing I love about Fall Out Boy is the music just wakes you up.
Yeah.
But I'm so sick and tired of us putting, as we have done so far this morning, putting music in categories. Like for instance, well, we've had Thomas Rhett on our show and Sam Hunt. We've had country artists here. We've had rock. We've had hip hop. We have Barry Manilow coming on in a couple of weeks.
Wait, what?
We do?
We do.
I better tell my mother.
Because
Glitter
I-
everywhere.
Because I'm a fanalow. Woo! Because you know what? It's more than just.
Is that what his fandom's called?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what we're called.
I like it.
It's
We're
okay.
called.
But in this business we're in, which is it used to be called radio, now it's just whatever it is. You had to have the country station, or you had to be the top 40 station. And this is what I love about what you do. I mean, you guys have been on the road with Wiz Khalifa, and this year you're on the road with Black Bear, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be,
Oh.
like I could see you with like an orchestra. Like
I would love that.
Like
That'd be fun.
John Williams in the Star Wars Orchestra.
That'd be
yeah.
amazing. Do that. Please do that. I would come and see it.
Yeah.
By the way, I was at the Wiz Khalifa show, and you guys came on after Wiz when I was there. The contact high that we got walking in after Wiz Khalifa got off the stage.
Why not?
It was like, whoa, hello.
Why not?
But like genre is dead.
Well, that's one of the things that's the thing that's really frustrating. We were just talking about this about rock music, and why is rock music? We've had this conversation or a variation of it a couple times. Why is rock music getting singled out that way? Because it is somehow like rock music is like the only country's less traditional now. You know what I mean? Like country's more willing to take chances. In rock music, it's like, well, but you don't do that. Like, isn't that like the least rock and roll thing to be like? Well, those aren't the rules.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, no, absolutely. I mean, rock and roll was like, oh, we're gonna break all the rules and everything in the hotel room, and now it's like,
But that is what you do. You have to do those specific.
yeah.
Well, I know, but
it's ironic.
But rock bands breaking everything in the hotel room. You're looking at two dads here, Patrick and Pete. I mean, you're like happy fathers.
Yeah, but speaking,
Patrick's wearing a cardigan.
And a dad hat.
Yeah. No, it is a dad hat.
Dad
There you
hats
go.
are in right now.
yeah,
They're
this
very
is
in.
all. My 8-year-old actually, speaking of that speaks exactly to what you just said. Was we were driving to school the other day, and he said, "Dad, is your music hip hop?" And I was like, "Well, no, but like I get it because genre just doesn't." He does not look at it the same way that I did. Like, you don't go to like one section of Coconut Records and go like, I need to go to the rock section. Like, it's like you're just like in a playlist of music you like. Mm-hmm. And like some of it sounds like this and some of it sounds like that and some of it like mixes it all together. Yep. And I thought that was pretty, to me, it was like a great reaction because I was like, if that's like what you're saying, then it means like we're doing something kind of okay.
Well, this is where the world should go anyway. I mean, the fluidity between sex, between gay, straight, transgender, we're just still people, and so music is music. Let's play Glenn Miller.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys seen the Tower Records documentary
That Colin Hanks did?
It's unbelievable.
I haven't seen it.
I'm telling everyone listening to this show because we're going back to a world of vinyl now. I almost every day I've got my turntable spinning and I'm playing my 33 1/3 albums. And I want more and more artists to put their stuff out on vinyl. Are you guys doing that?
We've always vinyl was one of the big things that when we started, and we got signed to Island. You move up to the major label, and that was a thing that we insisted on was that we wanted our stuff always available on vinyl. So.
Are people buying?
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean,
did you see? Is it escalating?
Vinyl is increasing, like the sales of vinyl. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would like the new album on vinyl. If you could just send me a promotional copy.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
But
If you just give me one for free.
Just one. In the old days of radio, you would open up your vinyl album from the band, and there would be a $20 bill in there,
And some cocaine.
and some blow. Now,
hint.
Now, if you could just send me like a gift card from Chipotle.
So yeah, again, updating for.
So let me give it to you straight. First single is called Young and Menace. We're going to play it for you, but you got to please promise me, even if you're in the car with someone else, you have to listen to this together loudly. You can listen to it on low and it's okay. It's good. But when you have it really loud, which is Fall Out Boy's favorite place to be.
Yeah.
By the way, the album Mania is available now. Pre-order it now. So when September hits, it just shows up.
And by the way, we have a new song for you in the beginning of June.
Okay.
For you.
Just for me? For me. Ooh, I love me. The only thing I like more about me is people talking about me.
I know.
And writing music for me.
For all the fanalos out there.
All right, this is excellent.
I love that you learned a new word.
I'm
If you use
so
it
into
one
it.
more time,
Yeah.
it's yours.
Come on, free your mind, man. The rest will follow. Pete Wentz and Patrick Stump. The single is Young and Menace. You're about to hear it right now. The studio album, of course, Mania, available now. Pre-order. So please pre-order it. You want to hear? Wait, hold on a second. Can I talk about it?
What?
No. We're having a party soon. We want you guys to come to our party.
Oh,
we'll leave it at that.
party. Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
I love that's exactly why we have the same personality.
What?
You look at the person like, can I talk about it? And they're like, shaking their head
Like-
vigorously, and you're like, well, I'll talk
You're
about
kind
it
of
a
even
little
talking
bit.
about it right now.
That means I can talk,
Don't talk about it.
That means I can talk about it a little bit.
But look, Nate has that look on his face. Okay, so Nate, turn on Nate's microphone. Nate,
Oh, man.
straight Nate. Why are you being so mean
Because
to
I
me?
had a conversation about not talking about it, but now you just talked about it, so
Yeah.
And even
You're
talking
talking
about, even talking about not talking about
we
it.
talked. I know. Now I'm getting looked at from
See,
somebody
but
else.
that's the thing. The problem
that?
is that
I
he.
told.
Who's that? Is that someone from the label? Who is that?
Eric, come on.
Oh, Eric,
See, the
calm
problem
down,
is
Mary.
Elvis will go on and drop something, and then
Yeah.
Nate's the one that's got to
Gotta
clean
pick
up
it
the
up.
mess. Exactly.
Figure it out.
I'm
I
the,
told her.
okay, I'm the elephant that walks around, and Nate is like the guy with the big broom behind me. Come on, Eric.
Yeah, that's
Why
me
you
and
gotta be
Patrick's relationship as well.
All right. Yes, Eric.
We got lots of issues.
Okay, we have issues. We're trying to arrange to have a special party with Fall Out Boy as our guests. but
Eric
we have
has
issues.
Eric has a bulldog that looks just like him.
Well, he's
It's
acting
like, but
one.
it's like a dog version.
We like that. I have a schnauzer. I look like my schnauzer. It's all good.
I grew up with a schnauzer. They're wild.
Yeah,
They
I
bark
love
a lot.
Not mine.
Yours does not bark.
I've got the perfect schnauzer.
I think it was just you, Pete.
Anyway, I gotta play some music.
Yeah.
I've been told. Stop with the. I don't need your attitude straight, Nate.
I'm sorry.
I brought you into this world.
Mom and Dad, stop fighting. It makes me sad.
I learned it from you.
I learned it from watching you.
Hey, okay, question. Does it bother you when someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, Pete. Hey, Patrick. I've been listening to you since I was a kid. Now my grandkids love you."
I haven't heard grandkids yet.
You're going to hear that soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years you will, because I'm getting that now. I got
Yeah.
it last night.
You got it last night?
So, yeah, I grew up listening to you in high school, and now my grandkids love listening to your show. I'm like, oh, God, I'm so old.
People are always like, at the airport, are like, I've been listening to you since I was 12. And you like look at them and you kind of like try to carbon date what age they actually are. You know? Like,
You want to cut them in half and count the rings?
yeah, no, I do. Because I'm
How old
like,
are you?
and what age are you now? You know?
Does it bother you?
So I was at something and I saw Graham Nash. My dad was a big fan or whatever. So I never do it, but I was like, but my dad would be bummed if I didn't like take the picture. And I could walk up and I say, hey, my dad's a big fan, and he got really bummed. He got like really offended, like, oh, your dad's a fan. I'm like, well, no, I mean, I guess I would be too, but I mean, my dad was the real. I didn't tell you how old my dad is. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
a tough
whatever.
thing.
Like it's a bummer. Like
Yeah.
whatever. And I watched how bummed he was, and I was like, I guess you just got to roll with it. You know what I mean? Like.
But you can't like, I don't know, you can't choose when somebody like, or what they like about you or something. Because I've a couple times been like, I love your movie. And I'm like, well, this guy's been in like 100 movies. And I just said I love one.
But I love
of
the
them.
one I love the one good one.
But yeah, totally. But I appreciate that when like people come up to me and they like, I mean, if somebody,
I love your old stuff, and you're like,
sure,
thank
I'm
you,
like,
right?
great.
Let's not.
I'm fine with that. You know, I
have an idea.
I'll take what I can get in
let's
this,
not
play- I like the
in this
classics.
crummy world. You know
Let's
what I
not
mean?
play the new Fall Out Boy song.
No,
Let's
play
play like a really
classic.
old one.
Yeah, sure.
Here comes
Let's do
Dance
it.
Dance.
Yeah, let's do it. There we go.
New single.
I like them all. Well, okay. You may not want me to, but I'm going to play Young and Menace.
Nate, can he play Young and Menace, Nate?
He can do whatever he wants now.
Too late now.
This may be the craziest song that's ever been played on this station.
Oh.
You think so?
Maybe.
By the way, they're saying Young and Menace. It sounds like they're saying F and Menace. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does. You don't know that? Well, you sang Young and Menace, so to you it sounds like Young and Menace.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're saying F and Menace.
I like that.
But they're not. It's Young and Menace.
Okay.
Otherwise, we couldn't play F and Menace.
By the way,
Or maybe we are.
we played the Banana Phone song on the air earlier today, so this this might be the craziest thing we
Here it is.
played today.
hold on. Here it is. Play that right there. Hold on.
Elvis is pushing buttons and nothing is happening.
Here's the new Fall Out Boy song.
Ring, 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 banana phone.
I love this
It's
song.
from their upcoming album, Mania.
Banana phone.
Wow.
I kind of wish this was.
I've got this feeling.
You guys really are crossing genres, aren't you?
Well, that's what we were talking about. You just got to keep moving forward. You
Yeah.
know, and you
Can you
can't really
imagine this
fall
guy?
back into tradition.
Can you imagine this guy in the vocal booth and he's just like delivering it like with full emotion?
Isn't that
Hot,
Raffi?
serious emotion. You know what I mean?
That's Raffi from
from the early days.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Raffi's
no,
so
no.
good.
I mean, Raffi's the big hit in my house right now. So
Please do a collab.
Along with the
What?
Wiggles.
Why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? I'm tired of being yelled at.
Get your finger on the wrong
You're
button.
crucifying me. I'm tired of walking around. The splinters from the cross on my shoulder are. All right. You know.
That was
So
Elvis.
Pete Wentz, Patrick Stump, thank you for coming by. Young and Menace. I'm going to play it for you now. I got to turn it up loudly as I've instructed. The album Mania is available now on pre-order, and another song's going to drop in June. It's supposed to be a very special song.
Yeah.
We won't know till June because we're not into ruining surprises on this show. Fall Out Boy, this is Young and Menace. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks. See you. Thanks for having us.